Next on deck
Well,
with Tim Black.
one more time.
I'm feeling compelled, given the debate this morning, similar to your remarks, Madam Chair. I recall a time in our country's history, not that long ago, given that my grandmother just passed away, where people like my grandfather were told that they could not participate in sporting activities because he was a Black man.
You know, I got a sinking feeling, but I think I know where this is going. Got a hunch.
I can recall a time in our country's history, Madam Chair, where people like my grandfather and my great-grandfather were not allowed to participate in processes and places in our society because of the color of their skin.
Wow, this woman is using all the words. Kristine is what you call a talker. Jesus.
Because people for years, for generations, had told our society that Black people were less than human, that Black people were animals, that Black people did not have the brain capacity to compete with white Americans. And as I'm listening to this debate, Madam Chair, it reminds me of a time in our country where people generated science to compel people to believe in the argument that my father, my grandfather, my grandmother, my great-grandparents were less than in our society.
I got a feeling I know where her final destination is. If you know what it is, put it in the comments section. She does have a point, I think.
And Madam Speaker, Madam Chair, I would just say that the beauty of our society, the beauty of being human beings, and I hear that a lot from my colleagues across the aisle, that we should just all engage as if we are humans. So I'm going to compel us to remind each other that in the beauty of being human, we have the ability to evolve, that Black people are not less than, women are not less than, and that it is an opportunity in our society to remember that as we grow as humans, that we can include people, that we can bring people together in our communities.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Gotcha. Got him. You can't sneak a Libot past me. I can sense Libots in the air. Yeah, I can tell. You won't believe this. All this is being said because she feels that when you don't allow trans women to play biological women's sports, you are treating trans women the same way Black people got treated. Yeah. You're treating Black people and you're treating trans women like Black people. And her grandfather on her cousin's side or mother's side, because there's very little melanin in this sister. Somewhere there's traces of something in there. Yeah, she wants to go on the diatribe and compare it to Black people. So that's what you're listening to. I don't know if anybody could see what she was talking about. Okay, so her name is Kristine Reeves. She's a representative out of Washington State. And she thinks that discriminating against trans women, or it's discrimination against trans women, not to allow them in women's locker rooms or to play in sports alongside biological women. I got 4 points. 4 points, folks. Biology isn't prejudice. Jim Crow was about hating people for their skin color. Had no basis in reality. Sports, however, rules are about real physical differences. Men, even trans women, are usually stronger and faster than women because of how their bodies are built. You know, biology. Keeping it fair. Jim Crow blocked Black people out of everything for no good reason. Keeping trans women out of women's sports isn't hate. It's about making sure biological women have a fair shot to win since they don't have the same physical boost as trans women do. Number 3, not the same fight. Jim Crow was a huge, cruel system that hurt Black people in every part of life. This is just a rule about who can play in women's sports. Not every part of life. And comparing them makes the old struggles sound less serious than they were. This is about facts, not feelings. Lastly, Science shows trans women keep an edge, like more muscle mass, even after hormones. This isn't about being mean. It's about keeping sports fair for women based on what the numbers say. And I wanted to find out a little bit more about this woman who's frankly taking a big, long dump on Black America in our history. Just because your great-grandfather or your grandfather on your mother's side, because obviously you are mixed with several things, just because you are 1/8 a Black person doesn't mean you get to take all of Black history and use it for this BS story narrative that somehow trans women should be able to compete with biological women, even though they have an unfair advantage of them. I want to know more about this woman. I say, who is this woman? And then I found out who she was. Kristine Reeves, here she is.
My name is Kristine Reeves. I have the honor and the privilege of representing the 30th Legislative District, South King County, Federal Way area.
I do not think Kristine Reeves has the right to, embellish and incline herself and take liberties with Black history and Black pain and suffering. But just like in the Democratic formula, because that's what she is, there she is using it. Using Blackness, Black pain and struggle, Black historical pain, in order to benefit a group that's not even focused on Black issues. This is not about Black people. It's about trans women.
Well, as a mom of 2 young kids in our public schools, I fight every single day to make sure that our...
Ta-da! Yeah, I had a feeling that you would be a person that really rooted in the Black community so much, huh? But very quick to invoke it if it means an opportunity might open up where you might get some limelight, where you could get some publicity, where you can raise your profile using a little bit of Blackness you have. Now, I'm not saying you're a less Black person because you're married to a white man. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, I knew it. That's all I'm saying. I knew it. I'm clairvoyant. I can see through walls too.
Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Each year from September 15th to October 15th, we take time to celebrate the histories, contributions, and cultures of those whose ancestors are from Mexico, the Caribbean, Central and South America, and Spain. To bring our individual experiences as well as our collective voice to the table to make a real difference in the lives of Latino working families by creating the Washington State Latino Democratic Caucus.
Focusing on many of the issues that impact Latinos was a game changer.
I knew it. That's all I'm saying. I knew it. I'm clairvoyant. I can see through walls too. That's why I'm wearing these glasses, so I don't shoot up my whole basement. Yeah.
Our public schools are fully and fairly funded.
Yeah, bye, Kristine Reeves. You suck. Okay. It's really not cool when you take Black culture and use it to your own devices, Mrs. Reeves. But to the larger point, because this ain't just about Mrs. Reeves. This is about what the Democratic Party loves to do. They like to take something that's Black and shoehorn every other group into it in order to extract some type of gains for that group. And that's a real slap in the face to Black Americans. Yeah, why can't you use that group to stand for that group and use our issues that are inherently ours to actually help Black Americans? I mean, it'd be different if Black Americans were sitting on a bunch of wealth in this country. It'd be different if we were much further along than we are, wealth-wise, education-wise, health-wise, but we're not. So what I've been seeing over and over again, and we're really tired of it, and one of the reasons why so many people are turning away from the Democratic Party is now we don't just have Al Sharptons and Roland Martins and Maxine Waters and entities on cable news like Joy Reid and Don Lemon and others to give camouflage, to pretend that Black people are doing better than they're doing so they can keep picking up money. See, your goose is cooked, Democratic Party, because Black Americans all over the country are using the microphones, they're using their phones to articulate this same conversation, right? We're tired of this nonsense where you use Blackness in order to enrich yourselves to make non-government organizations give yourselves big salaries and continue doing something for Black Americans. Meanwhile, taking Black struggle and pain and the legacy of it and using that to prop up other groups. That's over. So when the next time one of you crying Democrats gets on TV and you're pulling out your hair, you're clutching your pearls because you're upset because Black Americans aren't voting for your crap party, there's no other group that gets done like this. And that's because we don't have the proper representation and we have too many Black faces in high places that further it. People like Kristine Reeves. Give me a comment, folks. Are you tired of the Democrats doing this? And what we gonna do about it? There you go. What we gonna do about it? I say we hold them accountable. Let's start voting for them. Miss Afro-Latina. Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.